Hey guys, welcome back. Now, last week we discussed an event coming up which has the power to give the biggest Ethereum and altcoin rally crypto has ever seen. And it was all to do with the huge Ethereum ETF deadline coming up May 23rd. However, unfortunately, there has been some recent developments which not only could stop this rally happening, but also cause a major sell-off in altcoins. It could potentially wreck crypto summer for Ethereum and many of the altcoins. Now, I love covering all the positive developments and optimistic outcomes for crypto. However, we have to discuss what if things don't fall the right way. And so that is what this video is all about. And so we'll be covering what has just happened, which could cause a massive sell-off in the altcoins. Then we'll cover the how and the why so we can fully understand and prepare for this outcome. And then we'll finish with exactly how do we protect ourselves, as not everything would crash. There would be some big winners. Okay, so first up, let's take a quick look at what exactly has just happened and why it has the power to mess up crypto summer for Ethereum and the altcoins. And so this is the news story that we must cover, which could change everything. And it is the SEC is probing crypto companies in Ethereum investigation as hopes for the ETF dim. So basically, recently the SEC is waging an energetic legal campaign to classify Ethereum as a security. And this is according to several US companies that have recently received subpoenas relating to an investigation. And this news delivers a blow that the industry may approve the applications by BlackRock and others. And one of the big parts of this investigation is since Ethereum moved over to the new governance model known as proof of stake. So now that Ethereum has moved to proof of stake, now important at this point, this is just rumors. There's nothing set in stone. The rumor is a legal campaign to classify Ethereum as a security could hit at any time. So essentially, here is the warning. And it's all about the Ethereum Foundation. So I'll be keeping an eye out in the news because the worst case scenario which we must prepare for is the next lawsuit potentially being against Ethereum to classify it as a security, meaning the Ethereum Foundation has been selling an unregistered security. And so what does this mean? So let's run through a scenario which could happen. And this would start with the announcement of a lawsuit against the Ethereum Foundation, saying that it's an unregistered security. Now, just bear in mind, everything we're about to discuss really just impacts this market cycle, the next 12 to 18 months, as even if everything is declared a security, in the long term, that's absolutely fine. The whole entire stock market are all securities. And so an enormous amount of money can still come into crypto. However, this is just the next 12 months. Which could really mess things up. So, what happens if they declare a lawsuit? This would give them a very good reason to decline the Ethereum ETF. So this instantly would cause a sell-off, and it's not good news. But the bigger impact is that if there is a red flag over Ethereum until the lawsuit goes through, which could be 12 to 18 months, this could stop the institutions investing in Ethereum in this market cycle. Now, if very little institutional money goes in, this will cause a big drop in price. And what will happen? Unfortunately, retail like to chase things which are going up, and things that are going down, people jump out of. So again, Ethereum and everything to do with Ethereum, another further crash from retail. Essentially, a major sell-off could occur. And this wouldn't just happen to Ethereum. Ethereum represents the entire altcoin market. It is king of the altcoins, which means the vast majority of the altcoins could also be classed as a security. So a major sell-off could happen to all the altcoins. And this, unfortunately, could wreck crypto summer for Ethereum and the altcoins. Now remember, when this all gets rectified, and if they are all securities, then an enormous amount of money will still go in. We're just looking at the next 12 months while this lawsuit is going on. Now, although this may be at a guess, a 20% chance of happening, so it probably won't happen. It's a scenario that we just must prepare for, as Gary Gensler is clearly not crypto friendly, and this would be a great way to halt the crypto market for another year. Now, what makes this even more difficult is that there's major players on both sides of the argument saying different things. So on the positive good news, we just had BlackRock's CEO saying that even if Ethereum is classified as a security, the ETF is still possible. So this just makes things very, very interesting. In fact, this was the clip from this interview. He was asked whether classifying Ethereum as a security would impact the ETF, and this is what he said.
Talk about Ether. The SEC, there's lots of noise about them declaring Ether a security, which would take it out of the Bitcoin category as a commodity. How does that translate into an ETF?
I don't think that, look, and I really can't talk about it, but I don't think that designation is going to be that deterious to.
Oh, really? So even if it's a security, you could start an ETF, an ETH ETF?
I think so, yeah.
Well, that's wild.
So, how do we protect the downside just in case this happens? Well, there would be one massive beneficiary to this outcome, and that would be Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, as of today, is the only crypto that has been given the green light by the SEC. It has been classified as a commodity, and if everybody suddenly starts exiting the altcoin market, where would they go? A vast majority of that money will go into the super safe ETF approved Bitcoin, and this would likely cause a major Bitcoin rally. So that's the first thing to bear in mind. Now, if you wanted to take some more risk, then just heading over to a website called Crypto Slate, and essentially I would say anything that is proof of stake would have a massive sell-off. So we're talking Ethereum, BNB, Cardano, Avalanche, Toncoin, Polkadot, Near, Aptos, Cosmos. We could see an obliteration of the altcoin market, especially the ones in proof of stake. And there's also delegated proof of stake. So things like Solana, Tron, Tezos, EOS, etc., etc. A major sell-off would occur. Now, there is an argument that the ones which are still proof of work could be okay and not classified as a security. So as mentioned, I think Bitcoin would be the place to be. There'd be a massive BTC rally. But then if you wanted to take some more risk, you could also see big runs in Dogecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic. So the proof of work ones may not necessarily get destroyed. However, there is certainly still a lot of risk with these. The simplest thing would be to allocate to Bitcoin. Now, when it comes to my personal portfolio, at the end of last year, ready for this year, 2024, I pretty much went all in on the altcoins. And so this is a scenario which could massively impact my personal portfolio. So how do we protect the downside? Well, the obvious move would be to allocate to Bitcoin as a hedge. So the simplest thing would be to take the highest risk position, which for me would be optimism, it's the smallest cap, and convert this piece to Bitcoin. I could also maybe convert the Coinbase position as well, as potentially this would just be an exchange full of securities, giving loads of uncertainty for this year. But there's an argument to whether you just liquidate the entire portfolio and go 100% in Bitcoin. Now, this is something I haven't fully decided just how much would go into Bitcoin, but essentially that would be the safe place, and I think Bitcoin would see a massive rally. There is a massive deadline coming up for the crypto market, and it is the approval or decline of the Ethereum ETF. If the SEC gives a green light, then I think a massive rally is coming for Ethereum and the altcoins. However, Gary Gensler is clearly not crypto friendly and has filed many lawsuits against the major players. The troubling news is that the SEC has subpoenaed many companies relating to and including the Ethereum Foundation, meaning a potential lawsuit could follow at any time. This could make Ethereum and the altcoins uninvestable for the institutions for this market cycle, meaning a big sell-off. Then retail would likely follow suit, meaning another massive sell-off, and it would be Bitcoin that would likely be the major beneficiary. Now, as we get closer to the Ethereum ETF deadline, there will be signs. The SEC will begin interacting with the applicants, so be sure to look out for that. Now, on the positive side, the SEC could just be doing some due diligence before they give the green light to the ETF. So it's not panic stations just yet. So it's all about having a plan in place so we don't get caught up in any crazy emotions if the worst case scenario happens. So the key message of this video is just to have a plan. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Now, next video, we are back covering the positive developments of this bull market. So be sure to look out for that. Any questions or comments, then post them below. However, just remember to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments. We are trying out the new SuperThanks Commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.